Fern, we can't hear you.
Hey, welcome everyone to today's group conversation. So I'm your host, Fernando from Strategic Marketing, and we have Stephanie Haynes as the moderator. So first question from Todd. How are the GTM motions going from the perspective of strategic marketing?
Yeah, Fern, you can if we're on the call, you can let us verbalize our own questions, FYI.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking for some feedback and also just awareness for other folks on this call about how the go-to-market motions are going. So anybody from strategic marketing, feel free to add some thoughts here.
I can jump in on that. I'm feeling really good about the premium to ultimate one. We've got the play defined, the campaign to support it mostly defined, and we're planning on kicking it off to sales on Thursday. So I'm feeling really good about it.
Which GTM motion does that roll up under?
The premium to ultimate rolls up under CI.
Okay, cool. Anybody from platform or GitOps want to give kind of a quick update on this?
Yeah, I can take the GitOps one, Todd. So with the GitOps one as well, we're feeling quite comfortable. We've identified all the gaps that we have in our content journey, and we are slowly trying to fill up those gaps. We intend to launch. Well, the campaign is already running, so we will be modifying the buyer's journey as we fill up the gaps in the content journey. And then we intend to enable sales towards the end of May.
And I didn't know if Brian wanted to take platform, but I'll take platform. We had some growing pains early. We kind of sorted out a lot of that in the last couple of weeks, so feeling good about that. We are doing some buyer's journey work actually right after this meeting. We've got a kind of mini campaign coming up there, and then we're going to be looking toward a big play and campaign coming up early Q2.
I think one thing I'll share is that I have perceived a generalized increase in the collaboration surface area. And the way I might articulate this is that for folks that are outside of marketing, obviously marketing works a little bit different than, let's say, engineering or sales or legal. And so the way I might think about this is you can imagine different groups have different responsibilities, and they could work together, or they could try to work in a siloed individual fashion. And so if you could imagine, let's say a UX, manager and a product manager and an engineering, team and a development team, if all those people worked without collaborating with each other, you'd have something pretty messy, right? Like UX would go and do some research, but it's disconnected from whatever the product manager is planning. And then, engineering is developing features, but they're all disconnected. And if I can say in fairness, in some ways, marketing has operated that way in a few ways where, this part of marketing did some amount of research, but it didn't tie into the content that was being generated here, and it didn't tie into the campaign that was being run. And we had some disconnected things. So with this framework of these go-to-market motions, although there has been some messy parts and something new, so we're figuring it out, but the increase in saying like, these are some buckets for collaboration, and these are specific stable counterparts cross-functionally within marketing. It's not been super clean. We're still trying to figure out all the roles because the first quarter we're doing it. But that increase in the surface area and that collaboration, I personally think has been a really positive thing.
Cool. I think I have the next one. Fiona, can you give the team a quick update on the success of the reconstitute CAB? Kind of what were the changes and how did it go?
Yeah, sure. So we moved the cap from monthly meetings to quarterly meetings. That was based on customer feedback from our CAB members. Best practices suggest that meeting once a quarter for an extended period from 1 hour to 2 hours is more suitable to really deeper conversations with customers. So we moved the format from monthly to quarterly. We also created a new CAB charter, so customers are aware of our expectations and our renewed commitment to the CAB. Attendance growth from an average 10 monthly to the CAB that happened April the 7th, the attendance was 22. So really strong attendance growth. And I think the key change here is a lot more customer feedback, customer sessions, and customer breakouts. So the CAB format moving forward would be 80% customer driven on topics that they've selected. And it's really a platform for them to facilitate and engage conversations with their peers. So moving forward, it's going to be very much focused on what our customer CAB members want to talk about and a lot more engagement and networking amongst themselves.
Great, thanks. Sid, I think you're next.
Yeah, how do we got SOC 2 Type 1 certified. How do we communicate that? I'm used to when I go to kind of homepages of company, kind of to have that logo wall or something like that. I think we've collected a few now. Like we got SOC 2 and GDPR. We got a lot of nice logos from G2. Should we stick something on our homepage about that or something like that?
I'll put a link in there.
Jump in on that, Todd. Thanks for putting that link there. We're considering that in an upcoming sprint release, and we're always looking to iterate on the homepage. So this is definitely top of mind for us.
Cool.
And Sid's next with the tooling attack materials.
Yeah, I think SolarWinds got hacked because they had people build on their own machines instead of using a DevOps platform. There's a bit more nuance to that, but now CodeCoff got hacked. It seems that these kind of tool chain attacks are getting more common. How are we responding to that? And yeah, there's a potential here, I think, for newsjacking if we're fast enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I had put something together right after the SolarWinds attack happened and was kind of asked to not be so public about some of it because we were actually, it exposed some of our gaps that we needed to fill. And so we've filled a lot of those in the meantime. So I've had I forget what they call it, a meeting with the PR team with the agency, and they're looking for opportunities to talk about it with both me and with Mark Lovelace. And then I've baked it into my RSA presentation, into a webinar that we've got coming up, because securing your software factory has become a huge topic in the wake of SolarWinds. It's there was a lot involved in that particular attack. And you can look in the slides from the commentary and recommendations that I have there if you'd like more.
Yeah, thanks for that. I've requested access to a few of those slides. And
sorry, and I would ask everybody to not share it because RSA doesn't want it to be anything public before I actually share it in RSA.
Cool. But I think that securing the software factory is on top of mind of a lot of people, and I think we should be a thought leader there. We should be leading that, and I hope I assume we're never done. There's always things to fix ourselves. So maybe if the article can be like GitLab is the safe solution, at least we can talk about the trade-offs and the risks and what we're doing. I think we're a transparent company. I don't think we should stay silent on the subject. I think it's top of mind. So if you need help, thinking through how to iterate and get this message out sooner, and then kind of amp up our ambition level over time. I'm happy to help. I don't think that not talking about it is the solution, and I think we're late in doing this. So happy to help you and work with the other people to find a way to get this message out in a way that doesn't brush aside the things we still have to do.
Great. I'll reach out to Sid. Thank you.
And then Todd, should we be collaborating with Natasha's team on this? Is this like a PR thing, or is this I mean, and then also maybe a website thing too, Michael and Danielle?
I am collaborating with Natasha's team.
Oh, well, there we go. Is there an issue for that, Cindy, or any kind of thread we could kind of check in on that?
Yeah, I put that issue in above in 4C, William.
There we go.
There's a lot of folks involved. It's being run by the our PR folks, but they've got our security team, Cindy, myself, and the security product folks involved in those discussions.
Awesome.
Okay, Todd has the next question.
Yeah, what are the early results from the technical marketing SA enablement sessions? I know the team spent a lot of time on those. Curious to hear what some early feedback is.
Yeah, so we completed over the last week and a half 3 workshops, security CI and a CD GitOps with the SA and TAMs, and we've gotten a positive review of those workshops. The workshops were each done in different kind of educational ways depending on the lecturer or the leader of that group. And so we have some responses in a survey that we did post those workshops, and it's been nothing but positive. And we'll continue. Fern actually has his second round of security workshop tomorrow, and the other 2 are more self-paced. And so those will happen next week. And there's just been a pretty good outlook. You can see there, I put some quotes from some of the feedback that we've gotten. The next step for this is making these into marketing or GTM assets. So these will be broken down into workshops that can be utilized by field marketing. They're external facing, so they can come be self-paced. We will probably look to see if we can utilize the LXP platform. And then we'll also look to do some webinars and technical blogs around the great effort that the technical marketing team put into these. So there's very extensive labs that were very focused on a lot of GitLab's functionality. So it was a great beginning to what's going to be a lot of good assets coming out of these.
And I wanted to add that the vision is to get something out like Kelsey Hightower's Kubernetes the Hard Way, if you haven't seen that, where a lot of people would go to that for help and for learning Kubernetes. So we want to kind of achieve the same thing for our GitLab tools.
So the workshops have video assets and things that we could post relatively quickly.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, is that we want to have like different sections. So for example, for the security section, we want to know how to enable scanners. So there'll be a video about how to enable scanners, but there'll also be that workshop that shows, hey, add this to the CI YAML file and go ahead and do this. And it'll be like interactive so someone can follow it step by step.
Great. Thanks. I'll add the next one. I love the Siemens case study. That quote is money, based on our open DevOps platform messaging. So love that. So thank you for that.
So it seems like no more questions after that. We'll give some time. All right.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for putting it all together.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.